welcome back to another episode of Over the Glass. I am your host, Jay.
And I am your other host, Ness.
And today we got, the usual, so much stuff to talk about with hockey. But we're going to get started with our favorite team as per usual because the Sharks had their anime night, anime day. It was at, 5 o'clock? No, 4 o'clock the other day. So midday. It was my first time going to an anime themed event and for hockey and sports and stuff. So
I think it
prior
was
to
the
that,
first one in general. I don't know if
I
they've had
want
one
to I want
before.
to say they've done it before, but I just haven't gone to it. Um but prior to this, I did see that the Flyers AHL team, what is their name?
The
Flyers
Phantoms?
AHL. Yes, the Phantoms. I don't know if you saw it, but they for like their opening video, their creative team put together a it was a video with the Neon Genesis Evangelion theme song behind it, and they kind of paid homage to the way that introduction is for the anime, and they had like the players and like the mascot and everything. So I was like, oh my god, I hope the Sharks do something like this, because that's just fun. That's just
Mm-hmm.
exciting that the team's having fun with it. They're finding ways to, you know not only engage like that community of people who are interested in anime, but just kind of like trying new things. I'm sad to report that the Sharks did not do an intro like that. It was just the usual intro, which is fine. But they did showcase several artists. They did have a giveaway poster at the door, which was anime styled. It was done by two artists, which I'm actually gonna find their names. It was Sydney and Nelson. Not sure what their last names are. Um, but they were the two local Bay Area artists who created that poster. There were 13 players featured on it, and then during the intermission, that's where they were putting them up on the jumbotron because they were taking rides on the Zamboni.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the artist Vivian who did the puck drop, and she was the one that was drawing Macklin Celebrini throughout the game. They showcased her on the jumbotron, showing her process. You can see it on the Sharks' socials. So she basically was drawing Celebrini throughout the game, and then by the end of the game, she had finished the drawing, and the Sharks made it available for people who attended the game. You could scan the QR code, have the wallpaper downloaded onto your phone, or if you go on the socials, you could also download it from there. So I
Yeah,
thought that
I
was
got
kind of
that one.
fun. Yeah, so if you're watching the episode, Ness is showing it on the screen there. It's really cool. I think I've actually seen this person's art on Twitter before. Just a little bit of the stylization kind of look very familiar. So
Mm-hmm.
it's really cool to see that there were actual artists, because I was a little concerned.
Yeah,
I was a little concerned that it was gonna be AI. I was a
yeah.
little concerned.
Honestly,
Thankfully, it
yeah.
was
When I saw
not.
the poster, I had to like look really closely and be
Yes,
like,
I zoomed
is
in and I started looking at certain, we know what to look for,
how many
Um,
fingers do they have?
yeah. Always look at the fingers, look at the NHL logo, look
Yeah.
at, if they look possessed, it's AI. Uh, what other things happen? During the commercial breaks, when the ice crew comes out, they also had a couple of trivia sessions, in-house prize giving. The first one, I was like, okay, this one's a little too easy, and I don't know. Maybe, maybe I'm just expecting something more. But it was like three questions. Like the first one was related to like Pokemon. I think it was something like the first Pokemon or the main Pokemon. It was between, I think, Charmander and Pikachu. I was like, come on now. I was like, come on now. And then the second question was about Dragon Ball. And it was asking like what color does Goku's hair turn when he goes Super Saiyan? And I'm like, come on now.
Woo! Oh.
And then the third one was around Sailor Moon, and I think the question was about what the Sailor Scouts are named after, and I think the two options were stars or planets. And I was like, come on now.
Trick question. The moon is not a planet.
Yeah, so that was the first trivia. And then the second one I think was actually harder. Maybe harder for me just because, like, when I listen to music sometimes, I'm actually more focused on the rhythm than I am on the lyrics. So I would not have passed that trivia. It was around K-pop music, and they played the music, and then the person doing the trivia had to fill in the blanks. So that person passed the whole thing. I could identify which artist group it was, but I could not tell you what the lyrics would have been. So I thought that was fun. And then here and there throughout the game, they played some J-pop, K-pop songs. I wish they would have like exclusively done that, but then they just had like random, usual hockey, rock, whatever that they played throughout the game. Um, what other things happened? One thing I will say, and this is kind of one of those things where I'm like, I guess this is just what we're gonna have to deal with. One of those during like a commercial break when they're cleaning the ice, how to kind of like entertain the crowd. They have like something like on the jumbotron for you to do. And they had the like scan this QR code and get a drawing of yourself anime style, but of course was AI generated. And I was just kind of rolled my eyes at it, and it was everything that you hate to see. Like the shark logo looked awful. The NHL logo was non-existent. Like it's just not I was just like whatever. I suppose. But other than that, I mean, the game was very entertaining. I was almost anticipating that outside of the Reeves fight with whoever the Senators player was, I was thinking if this was going to be neck and neck all the way into the very end, like we're going to have like a full on like bench brawl because they were coming out hot. Both teams, they were, hitting back, and bodies were flying everywhere in the first period. So it was a very intense game. It sucks how it ended, but hey, growing pains. This team is still trying to figure out. I think our offense has gone much better. Defense, just the roulette of defense that we have right now, I just think they're just not quite where they need to be. But thankfully, our goaltending has gotten so much better. But yeah, defense kind of let us down last night.
That sucks. I wasn't able to catch it, but Dickinson didn't play, right?
No, he didn't play.
Yeah, which is, I think he's been pretty solid defensively whenever he's out there. I think it makes sense that he's getting some nights off here and there because he's still a rookie and they're giving him the Will Smith treatment of last season where he wasn't playing every game. But you kind of miss him out there.
Yeah. I mean, outside of that game, it's funny that during last episode we were on a high talking about how like insanely fun and good the Sharks were, and then they went immediately into a dip. It almost felt like it almost felt like a superstition, like, oh my god, we should never talk good about the Sharks again.
No.
They went on a couple of like really bad games where they just like they looked like a completely different team again. And then they figured themselves out. They're going to go through these ups and downs. It's nice to see that they're able to bounce back quicker
Mhm.
than they have in the past, where it's just like, when is this roller coaster ever going to end in like the downward position? Um, but it's nice to see that they are learning from the hiccups that the young guys, of course, are gonna go through. The hiccups as you try to find the chemistry for defense. What was the game where Celebrini got a hat trick, and I saw like on the main NHL feeds, they were kind of like, oh, Celebrini's hat trick and like Connor Bedard's hat trick, and not to be biased, but Celebrini's hat trick is so much better.
Was it against the Mammoth?
I think so.
I can't remember. It's been so long. Whoever they
But
played 5 days ago.
yeah, I don't remember. But that third goal came on OT, and Celebrini's the quarterback essentially for our power play, and it's just insane that he took that shot from all the way near the blue line, and he's just like, no, this game ends now.
Mm.
He took that shot and he was determined to end this game. It's crazy how just how much this kid excels. And it's not to take a shot at Bedard. We know that he's just as talented or whatever. It's just that his third goal for the hat trick was on an empty netter, so it's
It's
less
not as
wowie for
impressive.
me.
Yeah. There's no one there to stop it.
um but yeah, like I'm chill with the Sharks right now. Like, it is frustrating to see, like, the game before Saturdays against the Senators, Klingberg had actually gotten benched or scratched or whatever you want to call it. And it's, for me, it's nice to see that Wasowski is kind of also holding the veterans accountable. Like, I mean, Wasowski's, I wouldn't say that he's on the hot seat, but he definitely is like, no, I understand the importance of every decision that I make because it could cost my job. So I'm not going to take it easy on our veteran guys. If anything, I need to be harsher on the veteran guys because it's like, what are you doing? You're not like one of these youngins who are still trying to get their feet wet in this league. You've been here a while, and it's like, granted, Klingberg has been going through some stuff in his career, so he's in a bit of a crossroad where he's trying to resurge his career. But even still, you have to be hard on these guys. So he benched Klingberg. I don't recall what had happened that for that previous game, but for the game on Saturday, he did get that first goal. I think it was on the power play. So it was kind of like, oh, it's nice to see. But then he was also on the ice for the game winning goal for the Senators. And me and my friend were talking about, because where we were sitting was really hard for me to see down that side of the ice for that period. But I thought, like, okay, like, was it a bad line change? And then he said no, like, Mupadulin kind of like read the play wrong. There were like two Senator players, and so they entered the zone, and then they crashed the net. But like, it wasn't so much that they got the goal from the initial crashing in the net. It was that the puck was trickling towards the net, towards the goal line, and Klingberg was in the crease. And I don't know if he was just like off balance or whatever, if you watch the replay, but like, bro was there, and a senator just kind of came in and went boop. Like, he was like right there. So, and early on when Klingberg came off of IR, I had gone to a game with my friend. I think it was actually the game that we went. No, no, no. No. We were talking about Klingberg, and my friend was like really down on Klingberg, like really harsh on it. And I was like, dude's just gone off of IR. Leave him alone. Like, let him get a couple of games in before you start pounding down on him. But I told him, like, first thing when we got to the game yesterday, I was like, yeah, I there's only so many excuses I can give for Klingberg now. Like, it's just you've had the enough games to kind of get back into this. And if the other defensive, like especially, Desharnais, like he's been great for us. We didn't really get to see him a whole lot because we acquired him late last season. But all you ever want is like a reliable defenseman. He doesn't have to be flashy. He doesn't have to be like the puck moving defenseman that everybody's, wanting these days. Like you just need a solid guy who does the things you need him to do. Granted, Desharnais has a different role than Klingberg does. Klingberg was brought in because he needs to be the power play guy. He needs to be the puck moving defenseman. And I was talking about his contract on the way out of the game because I thought we had signed him for a couple of years. Well, it turned out he's only got the 1 year, and then he's got a no movement clause up until January. So it's very much like a trial period for Klingberg. And I mean, I feel for the guy that the things that he's gone through in his career. Like he was supposed to be like the guy in the Dallas Stars locker room for this very role that we brought him in for. So, I mean, I get it. It's like it's not an easy thing to be going through, but like, geez, it just doesn't look great, especially when you got guys like, I mean, Dickinson is gonna just need time because he just needs time, but it's like these guys are coming up. We don't
Mhm.
have a shortage of defensemen. If anything, we have like this surplus that it's like the fire is so much hotter under your ass than in years past, where it's like, well, we've got to play you because literally we have no one. These days, it's like, no, this guy could literally play tomorrow. So you really are fighting for your spot on this roster this season.
Right. Which is kind of sad for Klingberg because if he can't do it, he's not going to be here past the trade deadline if they can trade him.
Right, and at this point, he's looking not tradable unless like the Leafs get super desperate. So,
The Leafs are always
it's
desperate.
like, I mean, of course, we want him to do well, not just because it would be good for us, but just we want to see these guys that on the team or just their own personal journey. Like, I don't want to wish. I mean, there's certain players I wouldn't care about, but in particular to Klingberg, like I don't have any hard feelings towards the guy. But it is frustrating to see that he needs to do so much better, and right now it's not quite happening. But let's talk about some positive things. The game against whichever one of these wins that we had since the last time we talked about the Sharks. Apparently Ryan Reeves, we know when he was acquired, we understood his, great big personality in the locker room. And we love seeing that he's bringing that into the Sharks locker room. Macklin was recently featured in a post-game interview, no shirt on, wearing this necklace that's like white teeth and teal teeth around his neck, and he's basically telling the reporters that this is kind of like Reese's idea. He wanted a new like way to celebrate, and this is how it was going to be done. If you're chosen as like the player of the game, you have to go do your interview without your shirt on. You have to wear the shark teeth necklace. And I think it's just so much fun. And Macklin is just, it's a little weird because this guy's like, what, 19? I was like,
Hmm.
it's like 19-year-old with his shirt off wearing
I
this,
know.
like,
Put your shirt back on. What are you
it's
doing?
just like, child, put that shirt back on. But my initial reaction was like, oh my God, he's been staying with Jumbo too long. Like,
Yeah, very jumbo coated.
mm-hmm.
Not it's nice to see them having a lot of fun, but they did explain that before apparently this was the plan all season was to have this necklace, but it was delayed. I don't know if making it was delayed or the shipping or something, and so that's why previous games you would see the players being handed some really random items. There was one game where someone was handed a hammer. There was another game someone was handed a tissue box. It was like anything they could get their hands off was the item of the game that they would just give to the player. But that wasn't planned. It was just something that they kind of like did to fill in for whatever. And so now they have this, which is going to be cool. I like that it's Sharks themed. Last year, they had the football helmet as well as something else I can't remember, which was
I think
it
it
was
was like a
cool.
vest or something a
Yeah,
previous season.
it
Yeah.
it was fine, like, but it's not
This is
Sharks
way more
themed.
creative.
Yeah, I like this one a lot.
Yeah. So that was nice to see. Um Any other things you want to talk about game wise before we kind of move on to some other little tidbits?
Um, to be honest with you, I don't even remember this week. It's been all over the place. And it's felt so long. The one game I did catch, well, I guess I did catch the one with the hat trick, but the one against the Kings,
Oh yes, we need to talk about that one. Yeah. Went all the way
um,
into shootout. Nice
yeah,
nice
so
rivalry between LA as per usual. Oh, and then we should mention that for that game, Jumbo was in attendance with his family, and he did the ceremonial puck drop. They showed the video of him with the Hall of Fame
mhm.
weekend, and this guy, we've said it a million times on this podcast. You've heard it everywhere when anyone talks about Jumbo. Like, this guy is just loves the game. He loves the guys that he plays with. This guy is a kid at heart. He is, he's everything that you hope when you love something and you get to do it as your career, that nothing taints it, nothing sears you away and causes you to have ill feelings toward. Like, this guy understands how lucky he is that ever he's played this game since he could, I don't know, even before he could walk. I don't know, that like he's just been so blessed to play this game, and the only thing he didn't get to do was win the Stanley Cup. But he's inducted now into the Hockey Hall of Fame. That just kind of osmosis into Macklin being in his household, and just kind of, if anything, it's gonna help Macklin, like, not, this guy has like such an insane work ethic, but it's also to kind of reel him back in and be like, hey, just have fun. And I think not only with the influence of being in the Thornton household, but his friendship with Will Smith, their ability to just enjoy just being silly kids outside of being professional hockey players. But yeah, so Jumbo was featured, did the puck drop, and then I think it was just like a great game, like the NorCal SoCal rivalry. It went all the way into shootout. Askarov was amazing, and then couldn't have ended a better way than with Corey Perry being the last person to come out, and Shark Tank is booing him, and I'm at home being like, yes, boo this man, boo him.
Dude, yeah. So I was watching, I forget, I think I was here. And it's so nice to see that the arena is packed for most of these games now, even if it's like
It was very
Tuesday
packed for
or Thursday.
Saturday. It was nice to see.
Yeah, I think it was sold out Saturday. And you can actually hear the crowd on the broadcast now. You know, it's been like 5 years of empty arena, and you could barely hear the crowd on those on the TV or whatever. But specifically the Kings game, like you could feel the rivalry resparking, which was really cool. And then because it was very back and forth, it was very even. And the fact that they went to a shootout or whatever, like you could hear the crowd like going wild after every whistle being blown and penalty being called, and um, the boos when the Kings were up to shoot at the shootout. It was really fun.
And then I'm remembering, I don't know if it was happening during this game since it's all a blur, but did you see that called back goal by Will Smith? Because they said that there was like a kicking motion, and I'm like, kicking motion my ass.
I didn't see it, but I did see people posting about it online. So I was trying to look at it because apparently there was it against Seattle?
I don't even remember.
These games all blur together.
Sorry, folks. This new schedule kind of throws us off a little. 2 weeks in between. We don't know. It's all like one giant game in my mind.
Yeah, right. It's endless. It's ongoing. I think it might have been against Seattle, and then there was a Seattle player who scored off of another Seattle player's skate, and then that one wasn't called back, and that one looked more like a kicking motion, and so everyone was like up in arms about it. It's like, what are you guys doing? Like, if you're gonna call one, call the other. If you're not gonna call one, then don't call the other. It's stupid.
Frustrating. All right. Let's move on. So later today, as we record on Sunday, the Sharks will also have another themed night around next gen. So the local artist
The youth.
Haley Crawl, if that's how you say the last name. I'm going to share it if you're watching on here on YouTube. Ooh. Oops.
I love this design. It's very cute. Oh,
Uh-oh. Sorry, technical difficulties, fam.
well,
Okay.
there's always.
It's cute. It's got the different types of sharks. You want to describe it?
Me? Okay. So this one has 3 different sharks holding a hockey stick that also kind of like doubles as a flag, right? So there's a flag or a banner on there that says Youth Unite in black with teal and white trimmings. The hockey stick is white. All 3 sharks are biting onto it. There is the great white, which is what the sharks are known for. There's a hammerhead and a tiger shark. The hammerhead is like a lighter blue. The tiger shark is black and white. Kind of, it almost looks like a cow, like cow patterns. Like it's
Yeah.
the patterns are very round, as opposed to like stripy. But it's cute. I like it. Oh, and then the crest is like orange and yellow, a gradient in the background. So
Super cute. And we love a color palette.
yeah,
Very vibrant, very sharks.
yeah, I like the color she picked. It feels very kid friendly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we hope to see some stuff later today that we can tell you about it in the next podcast.
Yeah, I think I watched the video of her explaining it, and I think what really stood out to me is the reason she decided to do multiple sharks instead of one is to really encompass that teamwork is very important for like youth and whatever, to get like a sense of community type thing. So I really like that.
And diversity and inclusion, because we love to see more of that.
Always.
And then going back to Saturday, since we did go against the Senators, that meant the return of Fabian Zetterlund. And of course, Fabian was interviewed prior to the game, and he was asked what he misses most about the city of San Jose. And he said Eklund, and now I'm going to go over here and cry.
Yeah, this was his first game back to San Jose. I believe the first time the Senators came back after the trade, he was injured, so he didn't make the trip or he didn't play or something. So it was his first time playing in this building since being traded. Uh, we all know how much we loved Zetterlund over here. It sucks that he's on a different team, and it sucks that he decided to score against the Sharks yesterday.
Yeah.
So,
When
but
he
well
scored,
deserved.
I was like, Zetterlin.
How dare you?
it was
Actually,
it was a nice goal. It was a nice goal, but why?
apparently he's been struggling, and that was only his second goal of the season so far. But of
Yeah.
course, it had to come against us. Whatever.
Of course. Of course.
Still
Well,
love the guy. Very friendly. Very nice.
well, he did get to spend time with his bestie, so we love to see that. Folks will have their opinions about the trade. I'm still letting it marinate. I do not have any follow up thoughts on it. I
I actually haven't been thinking about it.
like now that you mention it.
I've been
On
really
that
happy
note,
with our
speaking
players,
of which,
actually. Oh, I
yeah,
forgot to
it
mention.
made me. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead, because I was going to go back to a previous topic.
Oh, um while this was all going on and then watching the game, I was actually thinking like, had we not traded Zetterlund, of course, we got Osapchuk. Um, but it's like when you look at our team, I was kind of like thinking like, where would Zetterlund line up? I mean, Osapchuk, Zetterlund's a little further along than Ostapchuk right now, so he was brought in because of injuries, Misa and Skinner. So, but even with Misa and Skinner, in the mix, like of course Skinner was acquired in the off season. There were a couple other folks acquired in the off season. Zetterlund's struggling right now. Like objectively, I was saying, well, I mean, yeah, maybe you don't go out and you get a Skinner or a Godet or a Kurashev, who have all been really nice right now for the Sharks, especially like Kurashev's playing right now, on the top line with Mac and Will Smith. I mean, Toffoli's kind of been struggling, so he's been like around like the second and third line. He's not even on like power play one. But like even maybe last season, if Toffoli was struggling, then be like, oh my god, we're screwed. But nowadays, it's like, no, it's fine. Let him work it out. Let him work it out on the third line. We've got great folks like Graff's coming along really great. Gaudette's doing awesome when Misa wasn't injured. Like that, like anyone you put into the third line has been like determined to make the most of their time. And then the fourth line is just let them do their thing. I love our fourth line.
Yeah, speaking of Khrushchev, actually, I believe the game against the Kings, he scored a really, really nice goal where he was left out in front of the net. He could have wrote a whole grocery list. Like 10 minutes left out in front all alone, had time, dusted the puck a little bit before he shot the shot and scored. Beauty of a goal. Anyways, I did want to go back to today's game because it's next gen night. Obviously, this is going to come out after the game is over or whatever. But for those of you who aren't keeping up like we do, the giveaways today for kids is these little Crocs gibbets, these little charms for shoes. I don't know if you guys have seen Crocs have like these charms you can put on there now to make them all cute and not plain boring. I think I need to go buy myself a new pair of Crocs for to put those on because the ones I currently own are Spider-Man themes. I have Spider-Man Crocs on them or gibbets on them. It just wouldn't go, but that's it. Oh, and they're also doing an auction for those jerseys as well. I don't really know who they are donating to. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Doo doo doo. It does not say. I don't have time to look for that, but they will be donating.
Okay. So now we're going to take a break to talk about the sponsor of this episode. As you should know already by now, it is DraftKings. Spin-O-Ramas, Michigan goals, and a sprawling save across the crease. Live and breathe all the highlight moments with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino Resort, Kansas, pass-through as per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer. Copyright NHL 2025. All rights reserved. So if you're looking to bet for Monday, the money line will be. Uh-oh.
It doesn't matter.
So
Just
many
place your
games
bets.
today. So many games today. On Monday, the Detroit Red Wings go against the New York. Oh my God, Drew's gonna kill me. New Jersey
The New York
Devils. They're gonna merge soon. Spoiler alert. The Detroit Red Wings, New Jersey Devils. The Wings are plus 124, and the Devils is a minus 148. The Blues take on the New York Rangers as well. The Blues are a plus 120. The Rangers are negative 142. The Flyers take on the Lightning. Flyers plus 145. Lightning 175. The Blue Jackets take on the Caps. The Blue Jackets plus 142. The Caps are minus 170. Wow, there's a lot of games on Monday. Panthers and the Preds. Panthers a negative 155. The Preds a plus 130. Sens take on the Kings. Senators a plus 124, and the Kings a negative 148. And finally, the Golden Knights take on the Mammoth. The Golden Knights are a minus 115 to the minus 105 for the Mammoth. So those are your money lines for Monday. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use our code THPN. And enjoy yourselves. All right.
I did
Moving
find
on.
where they're donating to for today's game. It
Okay.
says that net proceeds for the jersey auctions will be benefiting NorCal Youth Hockey League. So that's it.
There
Just
you
wanted to put
go.
that out there.
There you go. All right. Next up, we kind of talked a little bit about this in our Sharks talk, but Ness, you want to give us a little more about the Hockey Hall of Fame coverage for
Jumbo.
for Jumbo?
Yeah, so again, I didn't attend this game, so I was able to see this. You know, they always post these videos up on socials for the fans who can't make it out, but they basically followed Joe around on the day that he was going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Where did he start out? Started out in Toronto. I believe he attended a game there, did a puck drop for a Leafs game at one point. He went to get the jacket.
Yep.
I guess that's the jacket they get for entering the Hall of Fame. He went home he also took a quick trip back home where he grew up. to St. Thomas, visited the hockey team up there, talked to the young guys before their game in the locker room, kind of gave them a little inspiration, and then headed back to Toronto to continue his Hall of Fame stuff, where he gave talks. Okay. This is where he went to the Leafs game and dropped the puck and stuff. Gave his speech that we talked about a couple weeks ago, where he was shouting out all of his hockey heroes that inspired him to get into hockey, and he's like thanking them. He's crying. He's a very emotional guy. Very happy throughout this entire video, though, how appreciative he is of the sport he loves and played, and yeah, just thanking everyone in his life about it, the big roles that they played in his life and stuff. So, good guy, Joe.
Indeed. Very good guy, Joe. I did see some clips throughout the week, another compilation of Joe's just moments to kind of show his personality off and on the ice. And it's just like, if you hate this guy, I'm just very curious as to why. I mean, outside of
Yeah.
like, okay, maybe he, early on before he came to the Sharks, he was kind of this guy that would be a little more like, um, he would drop the gloves. He would be really, in the face of certain players and whatever. So I get if you're from that time frame of your exposure with Joe and maybe he did something to a player who's your favorite. I can't say there's players necessarily who fit this mold where I come around to being like, okay, he's actually not that of a guy, but there's definitely players where I'm just like, there's nothing you can do to make me forget that time you did that one thing to my favorite hockey player. But Joe is just, like we already finished saying earlier in the podcast, like this guy's just like, he is everything you hope that when you go into something that you just warms your heart every day, that doesn't feel like a job. Like he got to do it all, and he knows how blessed he is, and he's kind of like, he can't even though he's not doing anything official with the Sharks, which earlier in this year there was a lot of asking Mike Greer about like, is Jumbo gonna finally take a job here with the organization? And Greer's like, he's not saying yes, but he would obviously like Jumbo to take an official role with the team. And but this guy is just like, I don't care if you pay me or not. I just want to be around the boys. He
Right.
comes on the ice whenever and they're happy to have him there whenever he wants to. He just he just wants to stay connected, but not really in any sort of, I don't think he's necessarily ready for, he doesn't want to get into the management side of things just because that just feels like the next step for him. The guy's just, he doesn't even really need to have to do any of that stuff. So, but it's just nice to see, and we're certainly lucky, in like Sharks territory, to just have this guy who just brings just so much joy, to off and on the ice, and these up and coming kids, and even like the veterans who have gone to like play against him and or watch him and be inspired by him, they get to kind of just enjoy being around this freaking hockey Hall of Famer. Like, it's not easy to get into this hockey Hall of Fame. So good for Jumbo, and it's always great to see. um And so both of the Tkachuk brothers are currently on IR. Matthew Tkachuk, I believe, was recovering from, I think, something that he was dealing with after like the Four Nations. Obviously, Panthers went all the way to the Cup, blah, blah, blah. But he didn't start the season. He's kind of projected to maybe start skating in the next couple weeks, possibly not available until after the new year. Who even knows? Maybe he doesn't even hit the ice until after the Olympics. Granted, the Panthers are kind of not doing too hot right now, so who's to say? Brady Tkachuk got injured earlier in the season, not entirely remembering what his injury is. But I guess since both Tkachuk brothers are on IR now and just, doing PT and recovering, they were like, hey, let's start a podcast. It's like, what the heck? So on one hand, I was like, this is probably going to be a fun podcast for anybody who cares about the Tkachuks. On the other hand, I did kind of was like, of course, another podcast of cis white men.
Mm. Yeah, I was just reading this article real quick, but it sounds like they were approached during the playoffs last season to do this, but because they were both still playing, they decided to put it on hold. Because we're both on IR right now, I guess they fast tracked it, started it. It was released last week or this past week, I can't remember. Which was I don't like when the news came out, I felt very underwhelmed. I'm like, okay.
Like I said, another podcast of cis white men.
Well, it's not just that. It's like for a while, people were talking about how the Tkachuks are very big personalities. They're the ones trying to get hockey, like people more exposed to hockey because their personalities are very out there, quote unquote, right? I think there are funner hockey players that you could have picked for this who have way more interesting personalities. But it looks like the company or the producers that whoever the company that's producing them is Wave Sports and Entertainment, which is the same company who works on NFL stars Jason and Travis Kelce's hit podcast New Heights. So I think maybe they're just trying to stay on theme and getting brothers. But again, I think there are more interesting brothers you could have. I'm a little biased here. But this last little paragraph here is really interesting because it is quoted, okay? Our dad always said, you better leave the game in a better place than when you got here, Matthew said. But this is our best way of doing it. We feel like we're the luckiest guys in hockey. I'm like, there are better ways you can grow the game, first of all. Like a podcast
Starting a podcast, that's your ceiling?
Second of all,
look, they're really good at hockey.
Yeah.
And
that's it.
That seems about it.
Because if you really want to get into it, like if we're going to talk about politics and their views and stuff, I don't think they're the right guys.
I don't want to hear about their politics.
I don't think they're the right guys to grow the game through a podcast.
They definitely are not.
I'm just saying. Maybe I'm too critical. I'm just keeping it real. I don't care. I don't care to listen to their stuff. Like the first episode that they dropped, or the second one, was them talking about highlight reels of Tkachuk. Like, talk about something fun.
Yeah. When I saw this, I was thinking, well, it's probably not going to be one that I'm going to follow, but I'm sure, like I said, people who enjoy the Tkachuk Brothers will probably tune in and they'll have fun with it. I'm not in that category. If anything, I only enjoy them on a fantasy basis. And I just saw like when it initially dropped, and I was just like looking through the comments, and there's so many people from the reel that they had on socials to promote it, and I think they were saying like 2 brothers, 1 mic, and everyone was like, "There's 2 mics."
Can't even count. Too many head injuries.
Right. And so that was just like, that's what I took away from it. People were just like, there's 2 mics though. Like, that's not a clever catchphrase. There's 2 mics there.
So dumb.
So anyways, there's another podcast out there for you. If any of our listeners are fans of Tkachuks or just want another podcast to listen to, let us know how you feel about it. In other news, this poor guy, I just don't even know, and a part of me does feel a little sad for the Devils. I mean, they're in a playoff spot right now, but for how long? I don't know. But Jack Hughes apparently is injured right now, and it had nothing to do with anything on the ice, but happened off ice during a dinner where he suffered a hand injury.
So from what
So
I've gathered from comments on posts and things, he cut his hand with glass at this dinner. And because he needed surgery for it, people are suspecting that he probably cut a ligament or something, which is crazy because how does that happen? You don't know your own strength? You're breaking glass? ¿Qué pasó? I know I have been keeping up with this a little bit because Jack Hughes is
because
on
you
my
have
fantasy
Jack
team.
Hughes, yeah.
And
Rest in peace.
it's very unfortunate because he was doing great. And now he's just sitting there looking sad with an IR next to his name. What am I going to do?
Every year, I try not to draft Mark Stone, and every year, Mark Stone does a Mark Stone, and now he's just sitting pretty on my, well, maybe not so pretty, more like get up out of there on IR.
Pretty is not the word I
Uh,
would use describing Mark
Definitely not.
Stone.
No. But I
We're
mean, Jack
haters
Hughes,
today.
Jack Hughes is, he's a very, very talented guy. He just has not been able to stay off of IR.
For 7 seasons now, apparently. It's kind of sad.
So,
Someone did the math, and he has missed so much time between these 7 seasons that he's basically sat out for 2 whole seasons now. That's how bad his injuries have been.
like, I'm sure the guy is feeling awful, just like, geez, like, it wasn't even like on the ice. I was just like chilling, eating a meal.
Right.
Like, this guy needs to go around with bubble wrap. So, looks like he's going to be out for roughly 8 weeks. He'll be reevaluated in 6 weeks as of this article that was like
November 18th. That's
almost,
5 days ago.
yeah. So, and then, so the timeline will push his turn into January, which is still pretty good, as long as the New Jersey Devils can stay afloat. I mean, obviously he's a big piece. You're not replacing Jack Hughes, but
Mhm.
you've got talent on your roster, and it's just gonna, they're gonna have to rise to the occasion to keep the train moving. Because if you're trying to make the playoffs, you can't rely on like everything
Right.
circling around like one player, even though it is like a very important piece to their lineup.
I can imagine he's going to try to recover as quickly as possible for the
Probably.
Olympics.
Oh yes, that is coming up as well. All right, moving on. So it was reported just before we hopped on the pod today that Dallas's Mikko Rantanen has been automatically suspended for one game under Rule 23.6 physical infractions category. In regular season league games, any player who accrues a total of 2 game misconduct penalties in the physical infractions category before playing in 41 consecutive regular season league games without such penalty shall be suspended automatically for the next league game of his team. And we were discussing a little bit prior to hopping on about the 2 instances that occurred this week. The first one being against the Islanders, where if you watch it and you don't have a particular bias to either team, like I can see the side where people are like, well, he got pushed a bit. They're skating down the ice. You're going for the puck. An Islander kind of like, shoves you a little bit. You kind of shove forward. I don't know if he's trying to get his balance, whatever, but he does push into Romanov. Romanov is like 5-6 feet away from the boards, loses his balance from the push, and just goes face first into the boards. Not great. Either way, whether it was intentional, whether whatever, I think it's a good idea to eject the guy. Just, I don't have any feelings either way for either team, either player involved. It just seems like a good idea to do. Follow up with the game that Dallas went against the Flames. That one definitely looks suspendable because that one is definitely intentional. That one is you meant to do that.
Well, the thing I don't really understand is that he was only suspended for one game after being ejected in 2 games in a row. And this kind of feels like what people talk about the favoritism with stars in the game, that they don't want to lose them for a long amount of time or whatever, because they're key factors in their teams or whatever. But like, if you're injuring 2 guys that badly in 2 games, suspend them for longer. 1 game's crazy. You could have killed them.
I will say though, since this is a rule that makes it an automatic thing, I think that's one part of it, but I don't know if that rules out. We didn't see, usually we see this stuff pretty immediately that like the player is gonna, this is gonna be reviewed by the league or the player is gonna get a call or whatever. We usually tend to see that pretty immediately if they're gonna consider it. So I guess maybe I'm holding out hope, but I'm kind of leaning more towards what you had mentioned, where they're like, oh, this is a big piece of Dallas's roster. They're trying to do something that's like, yeah, we're mad that you did this thing, but also like, please come back out on the ice because you're very important to growing this game and getting eyes on our game. So I don't know. I think it is interesting. I haven't seen something like an automatic suspension before. So I was like, oh, automatic? That's interesting. That's new to me. So whether or not they do a follow up on it, I guess we'll just wait and see. Not putting too much, not holding our breath about it. But what's up, Rantanen? What you doing?
What you doing over there?
Yeah, what
are
are
they
you
feeding
doing?
you in Texas?
All right, tell us about Akira Schmid.
Oh, so I came across this random tweet like yesterday or whatever, and I thought it was very on topic with the whole anime weekend that we were having with the Sharks. But this Zach Kavanaugh, who is actually a reporter for the Anaheim Ducks, tweeted this. I guess he asked Akira Schmid from the Vegas Golden Knights, their goalie, about where his name came from, and he tweeted that his parents were into Dragon Ball and named him after creator Akira Toriyama. His brother's name is Krillin. Just for nerds, like, so fun to be named after an anime character. What are you laughing at? It's cute. It's kind of funny. Although, I don't know. I don't even know what he looks like. Let me look at this guy. Akira Schmid.
I'm gonna go out of my way and say that he's not Japanese.
No, definitely not. He's actually Swiss. Which is so interesting. Imagine some white man out in the world named Krillin.
I'm gonna let the vibes be.
It's fun.
I am not surprised, and that is all I want to say.
Okay. So talk about this goalie mask.
We're moving on though. Yeah. So I saw this earlier this week. Sam Montembeault's mask, who I haven't been able to catch a Habs game, but I just thought that this was just so silly and I just need more of it because it's so ridiculous. I wouldn't actually eat this thing, but if this is your vibe, more power to you. The video, if you're watching us here on YouTube, if not, I'm gonna let you know. If you're listening, is basically art to look like poutine. Chicken bacon ranch poutine mask that was designed by Jabo Airbrush on Twitter. It's basically just, it's got like the McDonald's logo on it. It says poutine ranch
The straps are
something.
insane.
The straps do it for me though. The straps are like the perfect touch. It's basically bacon. And I just love how ridiculous it is. I would not eat this, but I love
No,
it.
we don't support
I
McDonald's on here, by the way.
absolutely love it. Well,
But I love the
I wouldn't eat
concept.
it. I wouldn't eat it because of McDonald's, and I wouldn't eat it because I'm just not big. I just don't think I am a big enough fan of cheese to appreciate poutine. I have had poutine before, but it's not something that I'm like
It's not my
must have
favorite.
again.
Sorry, Canadians.
Right.
I think it's a little
Yeah.
much, but that's just me.
I just love
No,
the hell
the
out of it.
straps.
It's just so ridiculous. It's great.
The straps caught me off guard, but I think yes, that's my favorite detail because they look very realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, concept is fun. I don't know, like what if each country did something similar? I wonder what foods they pick.
All right.
Food for thought.
Moving on. Food, yes, food for thought indeed. Okay, moving on to all right. We've got another winter classic coming up, and this matchup doesn't make any sense to me. I think they've dropped the ball in this, and I will probably just end up watching it just because it's the Rangers, and I like to catch them whenever I can. But the Panthers and the Rangers unveil their uniforms for the 2026 Winter Classic. And okay,
We'll
that's how
probably hear
I
about the
feel.
Winter Classic maybe one other time before the game because they do an awful job of promoting these things. I completely forgot about it up until I saw this post 4 days ago, looks like. I hate the Panthers uniform.
I
I hate
don't.
them so much.
Yeah, okay. He looks like a bumblebee.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, it's fun that they're bringing the logo back, right? The old school logo of the jumping. What is it? A cougar? um, but that's it. Like the
Yeah,
stripes are an interesting choice. The colors are an interesting choice. I've kind of like really hate it. And then the Rangers is literally the same jersey that they're wearing for
yeah.
their centennials, except they're white. So there's no creativity there. And it feels like they're just running out of ideas. If you look at the other tweet that I posted, they do give a little bit more details on them. The Florida one, I guess, on what is this, like the bottom of the jersey on the inside or something. It has a little patch that has a little rat on it because whatever rat associated with the Panthers is for. And then it says South Florida and the date that the Winter Classic is going to be, which is going to be the 2nd.
Okay, can we just talk about this man for a moment? This man is doing nothing on my fantasy team, and I'm talking about JT Miller. Bro did one thing earlier this week, and then
Yeah.
it broke him. Now he's out for the last couple of games. So I don't know what's going on in New York, but figure it out.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
the details, whatever. And then for the Rangers, there's secondary
I do
patch or
like the
something.
apple though. I want that
It
in
is, yeah.
itself. I want a nice like sticker or patch or something. It also looks like it's like rhinestones on it. It would have
It
been
does look like
like
rhinestones.
would have been extra awesome.
I do like the
Um
patch. I do like the cream color that they're using.
so the folks who
No
are
hate. It's just
listening, it's a red apple and then it has NYR in the middle and it's just very simple, very cute. I just love it.
Yeah,
But other than that, it's just
the rest of it is very blah.
it's like, sure, yeah, we knew which team was which. We get it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I guess their gloves are kind of fun too because they're multicolored instead of just one solid. But it it's giving hockey, and hockey's giving boring.
Yeah. So if you're interested in that, well, that's coming up. What, New Year's?
The
That's usually when
second.
they have it. Yeah. So let's talk about something a little more exciting, though. We don't really like talking about this team, but I guess
I kind of love this. Should I get these to put my gibbets on?
Oh my god. Well, it's too bad for you. They're sold out.
Damn it.
So the Ducks dropped some merch earlier this week. Duck Clog Shoes, and they're basically like their version of Crocs, and it's duck feet. It's all orange. They have the players coming out to like take photos with them wearing it and whatever.
$110 for this is actually insane.
Well, they apparently did a really good job because they're sold out.
Right, but that's crazy. People got money. And I like the detailing on them.
So this was designed by Ryoko Rain, and then I went to go look at the rest of the team store, and they're kind of competing with us a little bit.
Oh, I like those shorts.
So the Ducks are definitely okay. I kind of adore the There is a jacket that Japanese inspired. It's got it's like a fan or like a wavy stylization that you see kind of in like the in this type of traditional
yes,
art. So it's a jacket, and it's got a duck on the front. It's got a duck in the lower left hand corner. It's yellow, and it's got the hockey mask stylized for a duck. And then on the back of it, it's got other ducks. And I'm just like, damn it, that is too cute. It's $265 though, and it's sold out. But hey, if you're gonna spend some dough, I wouldn't mind spending some dough on something like that. That is super cute. I would wear it everywhere, but I wouldn't because it has a duck on it. So,
I don't know. I wouldn't support the team.
This hoodie is also super cute. Damn it! Stop it! But then don't stop it, Ducks. But also, the Sharks need to get on some. They need to figure out more stuff. We can't let the Ducks win. Not on merch.
They have a shirt that says "Duck around and find out."
All right. Back to, is it shark stuff?
Kind of.
Oh, right. Ish. Shark adjacent.
Shark adjacent.
Kopitar had announced earlier this season that this was going to be his last year, and it's wild because it's wild. Like, Kopitar has been around, and he's been on this team like forever. Back when the Sharks and the Kings were really like heated rivals. Like, we're kind of getting back into it, but not as much as when both teams were like really going hard for the playoffs. It was, those matchups were also really, like, always really great, and I didn't like anyone on the team. I definitely didn't like anyone on Anaheim when they were also in the mix, but Kopitar was always just one of those guys that I had a soft spot for. He's just a great guy.
You know him?
His face is not punchable to me, is what I'm trying to say.
I guess so.
And it's just kind of is like, aw.
He seems all right for a king.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Something about him was like, I don't want to punch your face. I don't know what it is, but I don't want to punch your face, and that transcends rivalry, is what I'm saying.
Right. So we currently have Toffoli on our team. Toffoli played many years with Kopitar. I don't
Your
know if
team,
this
as
was
in you and Nate's team, not we have a team.
what,
You said our team.
as in the Sharks. He plays for the Sharks. Toffoli.
Yes. Oh wait, I got it mixed up with something else.
Yeah.
Go on.
No. Okay, rewind. So Toffoli currently plays for the Sharks, but he played many years with Kopitar for the Kings. So they're very good friends, and I think this was probably before the game on Thursday against the Kings or whatever. Kopitar came over to talk to a few of the Sharks. The Sharks had a few gifts for him. It looks like they gave him some wine, a bottle of wine or something, and a Sharks jersey. When I first saw this, I was like, first of all, the LA Kings socials posted this video, okay?
Mm.
And it's just really weird to see a King being handed a Sharks jersey. He just looks at it
He's
like,
gonna
okay.
be like, let.
He said this will he's I think he says this will be great for the collection, but his voice is very flat. Like, do you actually care, or are you just being nice? And I'm curious to know which jersey they gave him because it has an A on it. Maybe it's the Foley's because that's his
Perhaps.
friend. That would make sense.
Or maybe Mac signed it and gave him a Macklin Celebrini jersey.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the face of the NHL soon. Here you go.
You're welcome.
Yeah, but I saw this post because Kat Toffoli retweeted it, said this is so special. And, obviously that's a friend of hers or whatever. So just showing support for someone who deserves all the gifts, I guess, from NHL players.
Okay, I do have to mention though that for the puck drop to celebrate Jumbo going to the Hockey Hall of Fame, when they were showing him, they also showed that like Corey Perry had come over to kind of congratulate him and everything. So that's the only nice thing that I'm going to mention about Corey Perry. But you can just tell, despite being on different teams and especially like California rivalry, like at the end of the day, these guys have a whole lot of respect for each other. It's a very difficult thing to stay in this league. It's the top the top hockey league in the entire world. So
Mm-hmm.
for Kopitar to have been able to play so many seasons, and then Jumbo being able to play so many seasons since he was 18 until he retired in his early 40s, it's and it like I think you just have to have respect that goes beyond team colors.
I guess. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. These guys respect each other. You can tell.
What
Two more
is
things
this
here.
about the Shanghai Dragons?
Did you watch the video at all?
I did not. I didn't get a chance to.
Okay, so as I think this was announced last season or something, but Gerard Gallant currently coaches the Shanghai Dragons. For those of you who don't know, the Shanghai Dragons play for the KHL, but they are located in Shanghai, China, which is always interesting to me. I don't really understand how that works. Like China
Oh my
is
gosh,
part of
Kevin
the
LeBanc.
Yes.
Oh my god.
This is why I wanted to share this. So this video is the Shanghai Dragons account saying lockers after big W in Yaroslavl. If that's how you pronounce it. Gallant's giving his speech to the team, saying they did a great job, they got a win, and the goalie is giving the I don't know what to call that hat. The like Chinese workers wearing the rice fields type hat.
Yeah.
Like that's their item of the game. So the goalie hands it over to the player of the game for this game, And it really threw me off because it is Kevin LeBanc receiving it. And for those of you who have been following this team long enough, this team being the Sharks, sorry. The Vegas Golden Knights and the Sharks rivalry that came about when the Knights entered the league was crazy. Gallant was the head coach at the time. There was the whole thing with Gallant during the 2019 Game 7 against the Sharks first round playoff exit. And Kevin LeBanc obviously was on the Sharks at the time, and he was responsible for, I believe, 4 points in those 4 goals that were scored that got the Sharks back into the game. I think it was like 3 assists, 1 goal or something. And it's just really odd to see these two in the same room playing for you as a part of the one team. It was just like a nice little shock value with the camera pan and it's Kevin LeBanc. It's just so random. I
But
just
is
want to
it
share that with
more
you.
shocking than Ryan Reeves being in our locker room right now? Or is it about it's like apples and oranges?
I don't know actually. That's a good question. I think I was a little bit more thrown off by this,
Hmm.
but I don't remember actually when it was announced. I was like, what is Brian Reeves going to entail? That's weird. The year 2025 is odd, man.
Did not have that on my bingo card.
No, it's so strange.
I was actually wondering where Kevin LeBanc had been. I
Well, now you
mean,
know.
look,
He's in China.
wish him well, just not on the Sharks. We gave him more than enough time and a more than enough opportunity to rise to the occasion, and it just didn't work out. No hard feelings, but best of luck in the KHL.
Yeah.
All right. That is about everything happening in the major hockey leagues
Hockey world.
and whatnot. We do want to make a announcement for the coming episodes that if you haven't been following this, I've been kind of following a little bit, and it's kind of come to a head like in the last week or so. There is a gay hockey romance series coming out called Heated Rivalry. It's based on the hockey romance series by Rachel Reed called Game Changers. And we're going to host a series of 5 episodes that will be separate from our regularly scheduled podcast episodes that are going to cover the episodes that are coming out. So if you're not familiar with it, this article says Book Talk rejoices, craves. Jacob Tierney created an adaptation of Rachel Reed's gay hockey romance novel Heated Rivalry. It's been sold to HBO in the US and Australia, and Bell Media announced on Wednesday. It is going to be a 6-episode series centered around 2 rival professional hockey players, Canadian-born Shane Hollander, played by Hudson Williams, and the fictitious Montreal Metros and Russian-born Ilya Rozanov, played by Connor Story of the fictitious Boston Raiders, as they navigate a secret fling that lasts years. Letterkenny alumni Tierney and Brendan Brady are show running the series from Accent Iglo Entertainment. So this is going to be separately produced on our podcast from our regularly scheduled episode, and we'll just cover the 6 episodes. The first 2 episodes are going to be coming out on Thursday night, and it's going to be me, our fellow podcast back-end producer Elena, and then another friend Phil is going to be part of the group that's going to be reviewing, reacting, and kind of giving deep dive thoughts into each episode. So if that's something that you're interested in, That's going to be coming out until the conclusion of this season.
Yay, gay
It's going to be
hockey.
very interesting. Yeah, queer hockey, hockey romance. It's going to be a lot. All
I'll see if I
right.
can pop in here and there too, but this isn't like something that I usually read or seek out. I did see the trailer when they first announced it for Crave. I was like, this looks good actually. But then I've also been seeing people talking about the book and like what the series is actually about. I'm like, this might be a lot for me.
Yes, it is a romance genre book. It's not usually something that I gravitate towards, but it's not something that I shy away from either. It just depends on the way that it's written, and if it's so this is kind of stuff that we'll go into when we are reacting to the episodes. Like Elena will have a little more insight on like the book side of things. Like she's read more of the books than either myself or Phil. um Me and Phil have kind of had more of a connection and over the last like couple of decades of sort of following queer stuff and like smut related things, and also Phil kind of works in like the film industry, so he's going to have some sort of, you know, insight into that sort of thing. And then I guess I'm the unofficial hockey expert, where I'm probably going to be really nitpicky about the way hockey is portrayed in each episode. But we're kind of, you know, we're bringing in all of our perspectives, and we're going to try and really like not only do justice as far as how the book is adapted into the TV show, but the fact that it's like queer based and around hockey is just something that we're all interested in at varying levels. So hopefully it's going to be like a good show, because if you've read the book, like I was saying right before we
it's
hopped onto the
it's
podcast,
very
it takes
spicy.
quite a lot of chapters before they do anything other than each other. And it's not really something I gravitate towards if it takes that long to actually establish anything outside of sex. So, if that's not your jam, don't worry about it. We're going to make it very obvious when the episodes come out, and then you could just not listen to them. But if you're interested in that sort of thing too, we're going to have a lot of fun talking about it. So, we'd love it if you come join us.
Join the book club. Read
Yeah, I guess
along.
that's
Watch the show.
yes. All right. And then the last thing we want to mention is a follow up on some news regarding the Women's Pro Baseball League.
Yeah, so a few days ago they just had their first ever draft. So they're pulling their team together. Again, it's only 4 teams: San Francisco, LA, Boston, and New York. I don't remember how many rounds of this draft there were, but San Francisco, I completely missed it, but they were granted the first overall pick, and they drafted Kelsey Whitmore, which, for those of you who don't keep up with women's baseball, she is Filipino American. Was the first overall draft pick. Philippines. She's going to fit in really well in the Bay Area, as we know. Very big Filipino community. And she also used to play for the Banana Savannas. She's a pitcher, looks like a right-handed pitcher. Very good. Should be great. I'm really excited to see where this league goes. There's a lot of hype around it. Yeah. Let's see what else. There was it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like there was like 7 rounds. In the second round, San Francisco drafted I can't see this. Ayaka Yamamoto, so another Asian player. Wait, this feels wrong. No, yeah, okay. They have a Nikki Eckert, Adrian LeBlanc, Jula Park, Alexia George. Wow, there's a lot actually. It's more than I thought. Ella Day Bedard. We got a Bedard over here. Rosa del Castillo, Elizabeth Glider, Skylar Kaplan, and a Hinano Beppu. Looks like a lot of Asian players being drafted over here, which seems nice. There's more. I don't want to go through all of them, but if you go to the WPBL official Instagram account, you can see more posts on there, who they're hyping up. It looks like there has been a black player drafted to the LA team, which is really cool. She looks like a baby. Like she's just coming out of Little League or something. She looks like a child, and she looks like she has really good stats. So I don't know, man. This is gonna be cool. This is gonna be great for the sport. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yes.
That's all.
Yep. All right. So, any closing thoughts? Anything you're looking forward to next episode that we have?
Um,
Nothing.
uh, Nothing in particular. Just hopefully the Sharks keep it going with their wins. I know they've been a little bit more up and down, but they're still in every game for the most part. Although that game against the Kings, the overtime that they played was the worst I've seen them play. It was actually very stressful because it was like, what are you doing? I was surprised that they
Mm-hmm.
even made it to shootout.
Mm-hmm.
So less of that. More of the games where they're fighting till the end.
They are looking much better despite frustrations, as we mentioned earlier in the episode, and I'm not worried. I think this team really, I mean, not to say that previous seasons the teams didn't want to win. You could tell how deflated they were. They were honestly trying really hard to do the right things out on the ice, and just some days it's just, you know, they just didn't have the the folks that needed to be in the lineup to just make everything sort of click. I will say I think Eklund did better last night, but he is someone that I'm starting like. I mean, of course, I mentioned like the Foley is fine that he's kind of struggling a bit, and you know, it doesn't stick out to me so much as a sore thumb because we just have more folks that can kind of insulate around him and give him the time that he needs to kind of get his game going. Eklund's kind of stuck out to me a little more lately, just I think because Celebrini and Smith, Kurashev, Graf, um, Gaudette, like they're kind of you know, it's great to see. You know, we want more guys on the roster to, you know, you just don't want it to be your top two lines, and then you toss out the other two to give the other two lines to give the other your top lines a break. It's nice that you can just roll out these lines as is, but it just feel like lately I've been noticing with Eklund that he is doing the work. It's just he seems to be disconnected from the puck more than you kind of want him to be. I'm not concerned that he's regressing or anything, you know, in his game, but it is one of those things where it's like if he could get his game going, that will be even better for the Sharks. But right now, there was a couple of times last night's game where it's just like they just got caught in their zone because he kept trying to do something and then when like lose the puck, and then I think he was on line with Toffoli and Wenberg, so the chemistry just seemed a little off.
Mm.
But so between Eklund and Toffoli kind of trying to get their game where it needs to be, and then Wenberg has just been doing what Wenberg does, like but that line just kind of felt a little shaky every time they would come out on the ice versus the other three lines that just, they just were meshing well with each other. So anyways, so I think moving forward, hopefully that's something that we see a bit more improvement of with that chemistry. And well, Misa and Skinner are back on the ice. I don't know as far as their timeline of when they can be available for the lineup, but once they get back in and ready to play, I think that'll be really great for us to just have more options.
Yeah. And they'll be fun again. That's what's important.
All right. Definitely. All right. So that's about it for this episode. As I mentioned, if you're interested in tuning in to our exclusive 5-episode coverage of the Heated Rivalry TV show, those will be dropping every week starting next week until the season conclusion. And it'll be independent of our regular scheduled episodes. So check us out for those as well if you're interested in hearing and following along with us on that TV show.
Right. Okay.
All right. And as always, I've been your host, Jay.
And I'm Ness. Catch y'all next week. No, next time.
2 weeks from now.
Something.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.